Maximizing Moments with Milton. Welcome to this audio experience. Hello, 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 Maximizers. Thank you for joining me. Coming back again for this part two of Ending Conflict in Relationships with Bill Ferguson. I don't want to leave you with this nugget, and you'll hear this in this part two episode, but acceptance and appreciation, two key words that will help you identify when areas are looking astray and looking wrong, and how to isolate certain situations in conflict to appreciate and accept. And I guarantee you it's going to take you a long way. Listen in on this part two.
Okay, now there's two different realities. There's the reality, and then there's our reality. And the two realities have absolutely nothing to do with each other. In the reality, things just are. What so is what so, what happened is what happened, what is. That's the reality. Our reality consists of all the thoughts, the feelings, the emotion, the points of view, the opinions, the stuff. So there's the truth, there's our stuff about it. Why this is important is because when you're at peace with the truth, then automatically you look in a direction where solutions, opportunity, and possibility show up. Based on the facts, what do I need to do? That's where life works. And if you look at any area of your life that works great, that's an area where you can flow with whatever happens.
Right. Things
happen that you don't like, but you don't get hooked. You handle them. Okay, that's where life works. But if you look at any relationship or any area of life that isn't working, notice the direction of focus. Instead of putting the focus on what do I need to do based on the facts, instead the focus is on fighting the facts. And when our focus is on resisting, that's 180 degrees opposite of where solutions are.
Right.
So when our focus is on resisting, we destroy our ability to see what needs to be done, and we interact in a way that is guaranteed to destroy love and make our situation worse.
Wow, I love that.
So literally, that any area of life that isn't working is an area where we're fighting the truth of something. And that destroys our ability to see what needs to be done, and it forces destructive behavior.
And that's something you have to remind yourself consistently. It's a moment by moment thing. I mean, it's an everyday appreciation and actually awareness of who you are.
Yeah, and it's all about letting go. It's all about letting go, because the more you can let go and flow, life works incredibly.
Wow.
See, the nature of who we are underneath all the junk, is pure love, pure creation, pure possibility. That's who we are. And when you're in that experience of love, you're happy, you're alive, you're free, you're on top of life, you have a very positive attitude, you radiate that positive energy, and great things happen around you. That's the natural state. That's who we are without the junk. See, all destructive behavior comes from hurt. All destructive behavior comes from suppressed hurt. You get rid of the hurt, the only thing that's left is love, and in that state of love, there is no destructive behavior.
Have you found that when you hurt, there's a root that's within us, that bitter root, and how have you found over time in your experiences and with those that you've counseled and coached through, how do you help them get through that, or get to the bottom of that hurt process?
Okay, good. Okay, so why we fight the truth is because the truth hurts. It strikes a nerve. See, and that's what happens in relationships. She does what she does, strikes a nerve in me. I react negatively, strikes the nerve in her. She reacts, strikes the nerve in me. And it's like back and forth like ping pong.
Okay.
It's this suppressed childhood hurt messes up everything. Every area of life that doesn't work can be traced directly to this hurt. Every self-sabotaging behavior pattern can be traced to this hurt. Every area of life where we suffer can be traced to this hurt. And what this hurt is, it's the childhood hurt of feeling worthless, not good enough, that sort of thing. See, we're born pure love. We're born present with who we are. But we're born into a world that kills it. So in the process of growing up, every one of us collide with our culture. Every one of us experiences very, very painful losses of love. And obviously some more than others, but everyone experiences this. And then as a little child, we can't help but internalize it. We can't help but create the belief that I'm the problem. And then we decide what that problem is. I'm not good enough. I'm not worth loving. I'm worthless. I'm a failure. I don't count. I don't matter. I'm this, I'm that. And it's never, never, never the truth. But in the eyes of a little child, it becomes our truth. And we spend the whole rest of our life running from it. And anything that triggers that hurt will be perceived as a threat. So literally, the finding and the healing of that hurt is the single most important thing a person can ever do. Because until we heal it, we're forced to repeat the past.
Right. And so you have to put yourself back there at that point in time in life and really evaluate it and possibly get some counseling on it, I would assume, right?
Yes, and the first thing, though, like there's some steps for healing this. Because this hurt is not based on fact. Let me give you an example of where this gets created. Years ago, I was in a department store, and there was a mother and daughter shopping. The little girl was about 4 years old, and she spilled her drink, which is what 4-year-olds do. And the mother got real upset at her, started screaming at her, saying, "What's the matter with you? Why are you so stupid?" Well, how many times is this little girl going to hear that before she believes it? Not many. And the little girl is not going to have the wisdom to notice that her mom's got a problem. She can't help but create the belief that her mom was right, that she's stupid. And then she'll spend the whole rest of her life running from stupid, doing everything she can to feel smart. But no matter what she accomplishes on the outside, it'll never be enough to get rid of that hurt on the inside. And if any circumstance comes along and hints that her mother was right, that she really is stupid, that circumstance will be perceived as a threat, which will force her to fight, resist, hang on, and withdraw. It will force her to act in a way that creates more of the very hurt we're avoiding. So whatever a person's hurt is, we will keep creating it over and over and over again forever.
Wow.
And that's not the bad news. That's the great news, because life is forever putting it in our face so we can heal it. Because the hurt's never based on fact. It's stuff that got made up as a child.
Wow. That's deep.
So we literally spend our whole lives running from something that doesn't exist.
Wow.
You know, example, not a good enough. You know, good and worthy, worthless, good enough, not good enough. Those things don't exist in the reality. They only exist in our mind as thoughts. You can search the whole world over for a good enough, and you'll never find one. But if you did find one, what color would it be and how much would it weigh? We literally spend our lives running from something that doesn't exist, desperately trying to get to something else that doesn't exist, destroying our lives in the process.
Wow. Wow. Now, if this is not a journey, I don't know what is. This is amazing, Bill.
But it's not hard to heal it. But it takes looking at things in a different way.
It does. Perspective.
Yeah, let me tell you how I discovered all this. My big issue was failure, and I spent my life running from failure. And the more I ran from failure, the more I kept creating more and more failure. And then finally there was this point when I bought a whole bunch of real estate, highly leveraged, right before the market collapsed. I lost all my investments, I lost my office, and I lost my home. It was a very painful time. But it was one of the most wonderful times in my life because I had to mess up that big before I could ever deal with failure. And there was this moment when I look over my life and I just saw all the evidence to prove what a failure I was. Now, success is part of me too. They're both there in the realm of thinking. You're worthy, you're worthless, you're good enough, you're not good enough, your success, your failure, you're all of it's there. But at the time, I couldn't see the part of me called success. All I could see was failure. And there was this moment when I stopped fighting it and I surrendered to it and I let it in. And I didn't realize it at the time, but the moment I made peace with that part of me called failure, my fear of failure disappeared. And then there was this moment shortly after that where I felt this wonderful freedom. It's like, oh, how wonderful. I'm a failure. How great. I don't have to be a success. I can just be me. And that was the point when my life started working.
I love it.
See, we start out present with who we are, but the moment we create the belief that we're not okay, then we disconnect from who we are.
And it's about getting back to our authentic selves. Yeah.
Yes. The key to your having more love than you can ever imagine, the key to having your dreams come true is in your humanness. Because in your humanness is your love, and in your love is the power of the universe.
Yes.
But we spend our life running from our humanness because we equate our humanness with our worthlessness. I don't want you to see who I am, because if you really see who I am, you won't love me because you'll see that I'm worthless, not good enough, or whatever. You see, but that's the way we got it wired up. But it's exactly the opposite. You never love somebody because they're worthy or good enough or a success. Never. If you look at what melts your heart is when somebody allows themselves to be human. When somebody sheds a tear, when somebody allows themselves to be vulnerable. That's what melts your heart. When we allow ourselves to be human, we radiate love and we bring out the best in people. It's so ironic, but the willingness to be vulnerable is your greatest protection because you radiate love and you literally dissolve opposition and resistance.
That's right. That is right.
It's such an irony that the key to your having more love than you've ever had in your life, the key to having your dreams come true, lies in your humanness. And the key to your humanness is through your worthlessness. Your worthlessness, your not good enoughness, your failureness, that's the gateway to the love that is who you are on the other side.
So what I hear you're saying is to seek out those areas. Like you said, life has been pointing this mirror at you your whole life, and look at that and embrace that and allow that to be you. And like you said, when you embrace the failure piece, then you're able to really succeed. It's almost like it sounds different, but it's the truth, and that's what I love that.
Yeah, and it's so profound. And the first step in healing this hurt. Oh, and incidentally, whatever an area of life that isn't working, it's going to come to this hurt. So, like if somebody has an issue with rejection or abandonment, what's under the issue of rejection and abandonment is the hurt of not worth loving. So to avoid that hurt of not worth loving, they're going to try to force people to act a certain way. They're going to hang on. They're going to get upset easy. And they're going to act in a way that will forever create rejection and abandonment. Literally, the running from the hurt forces us to act in a way that creates more hurt.
Wow.
So the first step in healing it is to discover what it is, to find the hurt, to identify it. And in looking for the hurt, keep in mind you're not looking for a fact. You're looking for an emotion. The emotion is always going to be some form of feeling not okay, not good enough, worthless, failure, something like that. So when you're looking for it, don't look to see, is it true? Because if you look for the truth, you'll never see it. Don't look and see, is it true? Instead, look to see, if it were true, would that be painful? And the more painful it would be, the more it runs your life.
Yes.
So your upsets will reveal what your hurt is.
Do you find that there's certain hurts? I mean, there's a handful of hurts that people experience, and they have branches off of what those, I guess, those feelings, those emotions are.
Yeah, there's a few hurts that each person has. There may be 1,000 circumstances that trigger them, but there's only a few nerves. So like this hurt is like a tree with a number of branches. One common branch is not good enough. Another one is failure or loser. Another one is unlovable or not worth loving. You have stupid, don't count, don't matter. There could be a number of branches. And for most people, it comes to a common trunk that is some form of worthless, no value.
That's good.
Yeah, and in the running from this, it forces us to destroy love and sabotage our lives.
Wow. So the running...
And everybody's got it.
Everybody's got it.
And everybody's got it. And some people have it more than others, but everyone has it.
Wow. So the people that seem like that they're winning or they're succeeding, are they maybe subconsciously doing this if they haven't really like fleshed this all out within themselves? But
well, if somebody's running from failure, whatever you're running from, you're going to keep creating it. Some people run from failure and just create a life of disasters in that area. Some people will run from failure and become a mega success, except that they'll never see it because it'll never be enough. No matter how much money you got in the checkbook, no matter what your balance sheet says, it'll never be enough because you're constantly running to prove you're not a failure.
That's true. Oh, that's so true.
You'll never get there.
You'll never, yeah.
We literally spend our lives running from something that doesn't exist, desperately trying to get to someplace else that doesn't exist, destroying our lives in the process.
Wow. That's good stuff, Bill.
But the great news is this stuff can get healed.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to get rid of it because everything you do to get rid of it validates it, magnifies it, gives it more power. You cannot get rid of it, but you can take away its relevance. You can be so what about it. And in the so what, you have freedom.
Yes. And that's where we can flow.
Yes. Yeah, because when you have peace, when you have inner peace, you see clearly. You're present with who you are. You're creative, you're resourceful, and you look in a direction where solutions, opportunity, and possibility show up. If ever you're in a difficult time, top priority is to get your peace back.
Wow.
Because when you're in a difficult time, you need you to be present.
Right. Wow, you're coaching me right now, Bill, and I thank you. We only got a couple minutes left, but I wanted to, gosh, there's so much. It's so deep, and we got to get your stuff. And so, what do you want to share in these last couple minutes to the people, and what do you want to have them? What are the next steps? Call to action. Okay,
I have a website, masteryoflife.com. Go to the website, masteryoflife.com, and there's a section there under articles and more. And I've got a number of articles and videos that talk more about why our lives are the way they are, and then how to heal this deeper hurt and how to have great lives. So go to the website, go to the section on articles and more, and it'll give you a lot of really great information. Also, I work with people individually to walk through the healing process. I've got a and and also there's a couple of books that I've written. One of them is Get Your Power Back, which talks about how do you find and heal this deeper hurt. And the other one, How to Heal a Painful Relationship. That's the book I was on Oprah for, which is about healing relationships, one human being to another. And all of this is on the website. So just go to the masteryoflife.com and you'll get all this information. Oh, and there's a free e-course you can get on the website.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, maximizers, check out masteryoflife.com. Bill Ferguson, everything he has to offer. I would take it highly take advantage of it, like I am going to take advantage of it. And Bill, what do you want to encourage the people? What do you want to leave them with as we end the show today?
Okay, the big thing is that any area of life that isn't working, every area of life that isn't working, why it's not working is because there's a truth that we're fighting. Life is about letting go and flowing. And the more you can let go and flow with what's happening, you become very, very effective. When we go through life fighting, resisting, hanging on, and withdrawing, we destroy love and all sorts of suffering. And we become downright counterproductive.
Awesome.
So whether you have a great life or not is never a function of our circumstances. It's a function of how we relate to our circumstances. It's how we relate to life determines what happens around us. When you change how you relate to life, you change what happens around you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Bill. Appreciate your time. This has got to be another show. I've got to do another episode with you. I know I'm going to get a lot of questions from this, so I appreciate you sharing today. Thank you for being my guest on this show. Maximizers, again, masteryoflife.com. Also, if you want to get more information about what I'm doing, miltonherring.com. Love to see you there as well. And we're going to have fun with this, and I hope this sets you free in a lot of areas. And as you continue to follow through the journey and the process, and again, it's all about maximizing any given moment in your life towards success. God bless you guys. Thank you, Bill, for your time today.
Well, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.